Today we're in northeastern North Carolina in Perquimans County on Yopium Creek, and we're going to be checking and maintaining wood duck boxes. Some wood ducks right here behind you. We have in this area about 560 boxes across northeastern North Carolina that we maintain. Oh yeah, I love it. I love all this stuff. This is actually a cypress gum swamp. So the two dominant species are cypress and black gum. That's a really good cavity here up on top of that tree. And I wouldn't be surprised if a wood duck hen actually nested in one of those cavities. And believe it or not, those ducklings can make a free fall into the water and come out unscathed. As in the early 30s, 40s, a lot of these forests had been cut, so there were no natural cavities. So these boxes essentially replace the natural nesting habitat of wood ducks. So these nest boxes were a real important part of gaining wood duck populations back to where they once were.
I'm Hunter Morse. I'm a migratory game bird technician with the North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission. Just grew up in the outdoors. I spent a lot of time in the woods and on the water. And
what we're doing here, you can see that this wood duck box needs some repairs. The pole is leaning over, and it's probably fairly close to falling in the water. So it's important that we maintain these boxes to make sure they're ready for wood ducks, when they actually start to breed in late winter. So what Hunter's going to do is open up the box. No telling what you're going to find in there. That's a mummy. We check these boxes once a year, and it's important that you put new shavings in the box every year to give that nesting hen a substrate to lay her eggs in. If it's rotten material in the nest, old eggs, anything like that, she won't use this box. So it's important we put fresh nesting material in there for her. That's one of the most important things we can do to promote hen nesting in these wood duck boxes. We'll just record the box number and that nest was successfully used last year by a nesting hen. When a nest isn't successful and the eggs sit in there and rot, a lot of insects go after the leftovers, so you no telling what you're going to find in there. One of the most important parts of a wood duck box setup is your predator guard. Our main predator here on these wood duck nests are black rat snakes. So a black rat snake is a very good swimmer. Although it can't get on an overhanging limb and drop down to the box, it can swim to the box, and if that predator guard's not on there, it can crawl right up that box and go right in it and eat all the eggs. So without a predator guard, you're just essentially wasting your time. Now that we have our post driven in, the next thing we're going to do is drill a hole so we can put a piece of threaded rod through here to actually hold the box, secure the box to the post. Our attachment is just a piece of threaded rod with a washer and a nut on it. The reason we do the PVC is to get the box to lean at an angle. That way it helps water run off the roof a little better. Also, if any water happens to get in the box, we have drain holes here in the bottom. Any excess water will also run out those holes. It's always just a good idea just to put a little angle on them. It will help your roof last longer than it would normally if it was up straight. The nail on the bottom is just to make sure the box doesn't twist on the pole. So everything's all stationary now. All are going to have a little bit of play in them like this because they're in the water, but we don't want the box flopping from one side to the other. We have all our boxes numbered. Like I said, we have about 560 or so boxes here in the northeastern part of the state. What we're looking for, you can see, there's no overhanging limbs here for snakes and other things to drop down on the box and actually get to the nest. So it's a very good location. That's what we look for in terms of box placement. But the other thing behind us, if you can pan behind us, you'll see this forested wetland back here, which provides really good brood-rearing habitat. So these ducklings, once they hatch, they don't have to go far to get the energy they need early in life, which is mostly insects. So we always suggest people use rough cut lumber. If you do use smooth lumber, which is okay, but we prefer the rough cut lumber, what you would need to do is to nail a piece of hardware cloth on the inside of the box right here so to give them a little bit more grip to actually get out of the box. These boxes in this habitat is very, very productive. You can see there's a lot of cover. These little ducklings can then go in and out of all this shrubby material. It gives them protection from avian predators like hawks. It doesn't protect them from things like bass and turtles. Bass and turtles take a lot of wood duck ducklings. So if we hatched, for example, a good clutch, or a normal clutch might be about 10 to 12 eggs, we might see half of those survive, would be good. So just because they make it out of the box, you know, it's not over yet. They've got everything's looking for something to eat out here. You'll notice we have a little lock on the door so it can't come open. Real easy, it's just a nail bent over on the side of the front of the box. It just bends up, and then our little handle here is basically just a decking screw and easy access. So the Predator Guard is just basically standard sheet metal. You can pick that up at just about any home supply store. And we actually have a pattern on this sheet metal so it will fit around that square 4x4. So now you can see there's no openings for a snake to come between the Predator Guard and the box. This is all secured all the way around the pole. It's very important. Wood ducks are one of the few duck species that will nest twice in one nesting season. Most ducks only nest once. And these boxes will get oftentimes 10, 11, 12 years out of them if they're maintained correctly. So what we use for nesting substrate is just wood shavings. We actually get ours at a local lumber mill, but you can buy over-the-counter shavings just about anywhere for things like hamsters and guinea pigs. It work just fine.
There you go, ready for a wood duck now.
She looks pretty. I told you it was a pretty place though, didn't I?
Oh man, you ain't lying.
A good bit of the time, we'll actually put two boxes on one post, and we can have two hens nesting at the same time on one post, so it's pretty efficient. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice membrane. So this is what the duckling leaves behind once she leaves the shell. So oftentimes we can tell exactly how many ducklings are produced from a nest by counting each one of those membranes. So at least 4, 5. So
At least 5.
At least 5 came out of this box. I think when we looked at our data a couple of years ago, I think we had produced over the time frame between these boxes being put here and the time we checked them a couple of years ago, I think we produced like 38,000 ducklings out of these. I grew up hunting small game, squirrels, rabbits, quail, but my grandfather was a big bird hunter, and he liked to go and shoot Canada geese, and so he took me goose hunting for the first time when I was probably 9, and I fell in love with it. The scenery, the solitude, you know, we didn't really talk a lot. We just watched and listened, and you know, here I am.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. So what the duckling will do when they develop to the point of coming out of the shell, they'll do what we call pipping. They use this real sharp piece of their bill to go all the way around the shell and crack it like that. A whole perfect circle. And then what they'll do is use their, so here's the cap, or what's left of it. But what the duckling will do is use its feet to push one way, and then their head to push the other, and then the egg will split along the circumference of where she pipped that egg and cracked it all the way around. Like a good sunny place for a wasp nest. Oftentimes when we find a snake in the box, it's in the process of actually eating the eggs. Do what?
I would say today was pretty successful. Had pretty good, we kind of always get good usage of our boxes. Pretty good day. Got some new boxes up, some old boxes repaired. Had some good success. Pretty good day.
Today went fantastic. We checked approximately 25 wood duck boxes, 90% of which were used last year by wood ducks, and then we replaced some boxes that needed repair. The importance of this wood duck nest box program is twofold. One, it augments what's available as a natural cavity in some of these big cypress trees. It provides additional nesting habitat. It also allows us to produce ducklings that we couldn't normally produce just out of nesting cavities. So we're putting back to the wood duck population, one box at a time.
I love being on the water.